Hello, my name is Jonathan Phelps and I'm going to answer a few questions for Leo Kulbs for his international paneling.
Hello Jonathan. Can you tell us about yourself and your crew, how you met and some of the projects you have presented together?
Okay, well I'm a filmmaker, artist, storyteller, and I've been working in, film at least, in a lot of different mediums. I've done hand-drawn animation, stop motion, puppetry, live action, collage. Basically tried a little bit of everything depending on what the project needed and what made sense to tell that particular story or work with that idea or experiment. As far as this crew, Joe Barlow is somebody that I've been working with for quite a long time. I think we've produced 5 or 6 hand-drawn animated pieces. He specialized in drawing like alien worlds and backgrounds. So in this piece, again, he did all the backgrounds for the piece. Highly detailed, beautiful element to the show. The 2 other girls, Casey Contapassis and Katie Walker, are new to our crew. This is the first project that I've worked on with them, and I met them through a drawing group that we have, and we started to make a lot of artwork together. And I mean, they are just so talented. They were on the radar, being like, I got to get them in on a project. And this is the one that happened to work out. A music team was my brother, Stephen Phelps, who I work with a lot in film. Both my brothers work in film, so we collaborate a lot in various projects. He's actually a production designer and property master on a lot of features, so he's a pretty versatile individual. And Oscar Allen Quinn IV and Stephen engineered and did the music and the sound design for the piece. So we had all original music and sound effects from them. So we had a really great team for the piece.
You've done a lot of collaboration. What do you think makes a successful collaboration? What are some pitfalls?
Yeah, I'm absolutely a lover and believer in collaboration. I mean, film is naturally a collaborative effort generally, so that's come second nature. But also, like with the drawing night project that we've been working on, where we're inviting people to draw on canvas or paper and then work on each other's work. That's something that you don't see necessarily every day, and it's something I'm really excited about. I used to do that in my books a lot. That's where I have a shop called Ghost Books, and it comes from the name of my journals. I probably have about 150 art books that I've made from beginning to end, with not just writing and ideas, documenting dreams, but also a lot of drawings and illustrations and a lot of collaborative things that have been thrown in there. And as far as pitfalls with collaboration, I mean, there's always going to be hurdles. There's always going to be things that are going to be obstacles that come along that you got to kind of figure out. As far as different people you're working with, there's always going to be special needs or different things that can help people along the way, or at least being understanding and patient. But even the things that don't come out perfectly, or the things that you wouldn't expect to happen, those kind of happy accidents are, I think, what we're really looking for a lot of the times, because that magic, that kind of originality is sometimes what makes a piece really good. Like Bob Dylan, for example, his work has a funny voice, but we love it because it's just that it brings so much emotion, so much expression to the table. So I think in collaboration you really start to discover things that you would never really expect. So it's really exciting when you can make that kind of thing happen. And in this project, like Casey Contapassis did our main characters and the humans in the film. Katie Walker did all the mythological characters and the creatures. Joe Barlow did all the backgrounds. I did the elementals like water and the plant life, which we brought to life, as well as coloring, bringing it together in animation in the computer. And I also wrote, directed, and designed the piece. I think art should be, an exploration of some kind of direction. It's like, let's go over there. What is that? What's going on with that? Can we figure something out with this? What is this story all about? And you take the audience on that journey. Hopefully you learn something and they come along for the ride, and everybody gets something out of it. So yeah, collaboration I think is key. It's the dance of life. We're not just one person here. We're a whole bunch of people, and we're working stuff out together. So.
Your video for Digital Fairy Tales The Pond Aquarius was a very special piece. Can you tell us about that and what you're looking forward to in the months ahead?
Well, it's nice to hear you calling it a very special piece. We think it's a really special piece. I mean, we worked on this project for maybe 4 or 5 months full time. I mean, this was a huge endeavor. It's a hand-drawn animated piece, which is going back to the tried and true ways of making animation that you don't see as much these days. Basically, we got a hold of this old Germanic fairy tale provided by Leo Kulbs when he's putting together water stories for digital fairy tales, and I immediately was drawn to the Pond Aquarius as a story, and it was only but recently retranslated, so it's really something that I think hasn't seen the light of day in some time. And getting my hands around something like this, which uses like all these kind of like archaic like symbols and ideas that you see kind of cross-culturally, like between different mythologies or religions or fables and fairy tales. And also I think that we're dealing with a story that needs to be talked about, because you're talking about magic, and you're talking about magic within, and we're also talking about the idea of like you know, the crown. You know, these women take this pilgrimage to the Pond of Aquarius, commune with the water, which imbues them with magical powers. But then, you know, this manifested kingdom which they've created, like, crowns them as queens. And there's kind of a question in there where suddenly they're turned upon. And I think that's a really interesting thing to talk about. You know, not to speak for the film, because I think it's really important for the film to speak for itself. But like when, you know, we designate someone as being superior or better than others by placing like a symbolic crowning on their head, there's a kind of awful mistake that we've made there, because as though they might have great insights and special things that they can bring to the table, no one should be better than anyone else, because people are not treated fairly, and you really do become part of the problem. So I think the story is trying to talk about some really exciting things. And also, like, the production was something that we were able to raise the bar on as far as I'm concerned. You know, we did a lot more frame by frame animation. I mean, again, we've worked in a lot of hand-drawn animation, but there's a lot more love put into these individual shots. We did a lot of rotoscoping for like the close-ups, whether it's a hand turning a key or footsteps walking across the beach, which adds for a really nice kind of like detail element. And then the characters that we had designed, we also put in a certain amount of effort. Sometimes we've dumbed it down, like the characters' hair or dresses will be blowing in the wind, but there's actually some pretty advanced animation in there as well when we found those moments needed it. And again, hand-drawn animation is not something you see as much now with computer-generated images that you see so much these days. And I think the tried and true element of animation is something that is really beautiful, and it caters more to the illustrated images that you might find in an old fairy tale. We're just but releasing this as far as a streaming video, so it's now going to be available for you to just watch. Which hopefully we'll have the link for this or have that up for you soon. And we got a poster that we just put together to promote the video. We had the premiere in Berlin and in New York City with the water stories, the other videos that were made for Lua Kulb's collection project. But yeah, getting this available for you to watch, we're really excited about, and hopefully you will enjoy it as much as we did. Check out the Pond Aquarius. I hope you love it. I hope you like it, and enjoy.